I see Mixu in the chat. Ah, beautiful. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, to get your gamba going, because predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will be this week's champion. Will it be a Zerg player or a Protoss? Fun fact, they are both walking that royal road. This is the debut of both these two players in the Sparkling Tuna Cup, and they've both made it all the way to the grand finals. Who will be able to, again, reach the end of that royal road? We're here to find out. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of that Kione, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Gaimin Gladiators. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Gen G Esports. It is Trap. It's a trap, and I forgot to turn on the VPN. God damn it. I'll do it after this game. I'll turn on my VPN after this game, just to make sure that things are a little bit smoother for the timing there. We are going to be settling in. It is going to be Hatch Gas full, standard opener out of SHIN. Forced to take the unnatural natural, and meanwhile across the map, Trap is just going for a gate expand as well. Nothing too crazy to start things off. Likewise, SHIN has not rushed into the gold, and there's no crazy shenanigans in the early game. No crazy shenanigans this time. Not yet. We just see Trap across the map, just being as annoying as possible. Attempting to force some inefficient mining here out of SHIN. And we'll see what kind of openers we do embrace here as well. I do think that, again, Trap, we often have seen him embrace Stargate openers into Oracle. Trap did, I say recently, like 2 months ago, was all about Glaive Adepts. We saw a lot of Glaive Adept builds out of Trap. I mean, likewise out of Classic and a lot of the Korean Protoss players, but this was pre-EWC, so it's been quite some time since then. So I'm excited to see what Trap brings to the table and what builds he's a little bit more fond of nowadays. Shall see. I think it was in the last month of the last season of EPT weeklies. That's when we saw Trap really embracing that more aggressive style with a lot of success. Meanwhile, the expansion is going to be delayed. Death of Pylon Block. SHIN will eventually expand, but it's going to be slightly delayed here by the Protoss. Back at home, Stargate opener from Trap. Stargate into Oracle into a third base is kind of what we're assuming is going to be on the horizon here. But again, Trap has shown us that he's willing to be a little bit more cheeky than that and try to hide tech. Ooh, as Trap is going to be opening up Stalker. Interesting start from our Protoss player. Now, because of this, Trap is going to have that many less adepts to harass across the map and to pose a threat to the mineral line, but it also does kind of surround Trap in this kind of shroud of ambiguity where SHIN is in the dark. His Overlord is going to be pinned back. A Stalker opener can sometimes be indicative of a Twilight Council, just because the Protoss is clearly more interested in denying any kind of vision. The Oracle's on the way, and this Overlord should be hunted down. And as we're settling in, a big shout out to Sort of in the chat. Streaming at a reasonable time. Wait, hold on. Are you in Korea? The last we heard, Sort of, so the Lings, they do come in, the Overlord goes down, and the Lings will snipe that Stalker. Stalker does fall, not a bad trade here out of SHIN. Still did lose the Overlord. We'll pull away. But yeah, last we heard, I think you were moving back to Korea, right? Regardless, hope you had a great stream, hope you had a great ladder session, and welcome everyone, welcome to the Sparkling Tuna Cup, welcome to the STC. We are here in the grand finals. We just begun with this best of 5. This is game 1 of, I'm sure, a long series. As third base is now being taken, Trap getting into his own Twilight Council and Forge follow-up, I imagine +1 and Blink. Oracle's going to be moving out. And so far, SHIN is in position. Ricky has to leave, but yeah, it's in Korea. Oh, there you go. Thank you for confirming. Thank you for letting us know. Shout out to Sort of course. Did apparently recently move back to Korea on that Korean time zone sleep schedule. As I do see Lings at the same time as the Oracles are harassing, they hit the third base, they catch an Adept, and do they get the other? Ooh, they barely will. The wall is not a wall. The Adept does get surrounded. Massive pickups here from SHIN. Gets both Adepts, slips into the main, and will confirm the follow-up. Gets eyes on the Forge, the Twilight Council, the additional Oracles. Lings will be cleaned up, but nice damage from SHIN nonetheless, as he wants a probe. He wants it, he won't get it. Barely doesn't get a probe in the natural. Lings are cleaned up. And across the map, SHIN has just been droning, mining through the minerals, taking his 4th base. Will be expanding here on the right-hand side, and rushing into that lair. I believe there was a safety Roach Warren. Yeah, the Roach Warren was thrown down, but upon seeing the follow-up tech, I believe SHIN will not be embracing Roach production with that lair, can go into Hydras or even Aspire. I'm feeling Hydras more than anything, but we'll see. See what direction SHIN does take us in. Taking extra gases, that's going to be 6 gases here for SHIN. That's a lot of gas. That's a lot of gas for the Zerg, and what's it going to be spent on? Again, we're still waiting for that lair. +1 range on the way. It's got to be the Hydras. Likewise, you see a trap going into the Temple Archives. Working towards zone splash damage. Going to be for Storm, for Archons. Oracle's trying to get a read on what's going on. So far, denied. At least trap does confirm the 4th. Rotating around. Lair is now done. Going straight for the Infestation Pit. Okay. We do have Roach speed in production. Infestation Pit here for the Hive. Roaches are going to be amassing. Interesting choice. Now, with this pit, again, you can go into a faster Hive. You can technically go into something crazy like Swarm Host play, which can be effective, especially on certain maps. I'm talking Crimson Court or some of these maps where you can kind of be a little bit cheekier on other sides of the map. Maybe Amphion as well. Now the Roach Ravager is amassing. Likewise, Chab taking a 4th on the right-hand side. I'm still waiting to see here what exactly that Infestation Bit is going to be used for. As SHIN has been able to saturate his 4th, getting up to 72 workers. We'll eventually get it up and running. Still committed to Ling Roach Ravager, though. Is still committed. And may opt to not drone up any more than this. So staying on a bit of a lower worker count on 72. And just focusing on Ling Roach Ravager. Queens are pushing forward as well. And SHIN, he is going to commit. And across the map, what is it to defend? There are storms. Bear that in mind. Storm is done. Storm is complete, and here comes the all-in. Overlord speed is done to spread creep across the map. Queens are waddling across as well. It's going to be all or nothing for SHIN. There's a first storm. And a lot of Lings go down. The Wilds! Ooh. Wilds, they don't quite connect with the High Templar. High Templar pull away. And SHIN is doubling down. More Lings in production. SHIN pushing forward. Takes down the initial shield. Or the initial cannon. Cannon does fall. Another storm gets spent. I believe there's one storm left. And that was the final storm. And SHIN is still gaining ground, still pushing forward. Immortal production has begun, but the shield battery is exposed. The overcharge did put in a lot of work. And a nice concave here for Trap. Yeah, the Stalkers, they do trade quite well. Archons were morphed in from the High Templar. Lings are being shut down, and SHIN, he did not get into the mineral line. He did not break the main army. Immortals have arrived, and SHIN is being forced back. Bearing in mind, the soup does lie. Supply is inflated for SHIN. And he just cannot break this position. He cannot push up this ramp. Trap holds. Whew, okay. Trap does hold. And the immortal count's getting higher, and SHIN is not stopping. SHIN, he's not droning. He's not teching. No Hive, no Hydras. SHIN is committed to Ling Roach Ravager. And he's getting ready for the second wave. Does rotate towards the 4th. Side defense is denied. There are no storms ready. We need a little bit more time as well. High Templar just morphed in. And shield battery goes down. Files, ooh, they do connect. They take down an Archon. There's one storm, but just the one. Another Immortal comes in to reinforce, and we go for the dive. Trap. He dives on the Ravagers. They're being targeted down one after the other. The Immortal has arrived, and Trap, he shuts this down. And SHIN just cannot keep up. He's being outscaled. GG gets called, and Trap will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, some crucial storms from Trap. I mean, the first storm was so valuable, it cleaned up every single Ling. Likewise, the Concave, the Blinks as well. Trap being very patient, being very careful when it came to his initial defense. And again, it was all about buying time. It was all about buying time for the Immortals. Once they arrived, they were able to just bully back the Roach Ravager. And again, Trap just never really budged, never gave an inch, never allowed the army to actually get into a mineral line, get on top of those shield batteries towards the back line. So very nice hold. Very nice hold here from Trap. GG. GG, well played. In the end, the infestation bit wasn't for anything. I was like, infestation bit, is it going into a hive? Is it going into swarm host? Is it going to go into like infestors or something crazy like that? That was just thrown down. It was there was no plan. Did commit to the all-in instead. And alas, was unable to break his opponents. Now we're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amphion, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Gaimin. Gladiator is down in the series, but it's a best of 5. We have plenty of games ahead of us, and I'm hoping for a back and forth. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Gen G Esports, leading the series 1-0. It is Trap. And Amphion is a map that we don't often get to see and we don't often get to embrace, but it's a best of 5, so you have that many less vetoes available. We get to experience that many more maps, so I'm ready, I'm excited. Speaking of more unorthodox play, we have seen a lot of Muta play, for example, in this map, just because of the short rush distance by air. We have seen SHIN embrace those Mutas in the past. We've seen Stormhost play as well with Nidus Worms, taking advantage of how secure some of these locations are, how difficult it is for the Protoss to gain access and to shut them down. Or we could even see something crazier, and we could see some standard macro play. That'd be wild. We'll see if we get there. We shall see. As Trap does go for the gate expand. Again, just being as annoying as possible across the map. Attempting to disrupt some of the mining, but it's going to be forced out. I mean, in a way, dealing some inadvertent damage as the drone was forced off the mineral line, forced to chase the probe. So some damage was still dealt. Trap just checking the mineral wall. That's another feature, of course, is you can mine through these minerals and rush into a faster third base to be a little bit greedy, or likewise go into a link flood or some kind of crazy all-in. The minerals can come into play, speaking of SHIN already mining through them. Either to just open up the attack path or to expand. As Lings, they avoid the probe, which tells us that SHIN most likely is going to be expanding here on the left-hand side. Otherwise, he would have dealt with this probe. I say that Lings do pivot back around. A depth was spotted by the Overlord. It's going to be a Stargate opener here by Trap. Probe is in position, attempting to scout. And SHIN, does he go for the expansion on the left or right-hand side here? The drone is in position, is taking the triangular third. Okay. I mean, it is going to be that much more difficult for Trap to harass this location, with the depths at least. That's going to be on Trap to piece it all together. The depths are moving out. Depths are pushing towards the right. Back at home, Trap soon to expand, I imagine. Or throw down some tech. See what direction he goes in. Going for an extra gateway. Oracle moving out across the map as well. And again, it will confirm the third base. We'll be able to. Shading into the main. Nice position. Ling's having a hard time engaging. That's going to be 2. That's going to be 3 drones going down. Oh my god! 5 drone kills! 5 workers with 7 drones going down as the Oracle does go for a bit of a drive-by. Takes a lot of damage. That's going to be 8 worker kills already. Very nice damage done by Trap. Again, SHIN just having an awkward position. Oh, I mean, I should say the SimCity working against SHIN. Just couldn't get us around with those lings. Good not surrounds. Shuts down the lings. Second Oracle's moving out. And does threaten the third. Yeah, getting an extra drone kill. Not bad. 9 drones in total. I shouldn't get much more than that, not yet. As the Oracle is fended off. And behind this, Trap is going for a standard transition. Third base has been placed on the right-hand side, going for the linear third, and working towards a Forge and a Twilight Council. +1 and Blink, I imagine. Whew. And now the game can calm down. We can calm things down. We can settle in. SHIN saturating his third. Oracles catch another 2 drones. Oh, and finally, Trap is punished. 1 Oracle does fall. So SHIN is fighting back. Meanwhile, 3 Adepts they shade in towards the natural. Ling's slightly out of position. Getting up to 4 drone kills, but shouldn't get much more than that. Oh, I say that. We get 5. 5 more drones go down. And these are still solid trades for Trap. Bearing in mind that these Adepts were warped in earlier on. They don't scale amazingly into a longer game. Ling's go for a counterattack. No shield battery. But the Stalkers are in position. And the Oracle races back home as well. And the Lings then not going to get much done. Nice defense by Trap. Shuts down the Lings. Meanwhile, SHIN back at home taking all 6 gases. Gases at the third, the natural, and the main have all been taken. And once again, SHIN is going to +1 range. And there is that Roach Horn as well, so it could embrace Roach Ravager once again, or try to rush into that Hydra Den. But now it is going to be Roaches. Trap does overextend, bleeds out one of the Oracles. 1 Oracle does fall, nice revelation, gets eyes on the lair, and checking the vision, Trap, does he spot the Infestation Pit? He has. He does spot the pit, is aware, spots the 4th base as well. Now, last game, even though there was an Infestation Pit, SHIN did go for an all-in. Could we see that again? We could, but I'm hoping that this time we go for a bit of a different direction. And we actually decide to saturate and tech up instead. We'll see. It's going to be on SHIN. Meanwhile, with that gateway across the map, I believe we're up to 8 gates? 7. We have 7 gateways here for Trap. He's got plenty of Blink Stalkers. He's pushing in. He's reinforcing across the map. Lings, they come in for a surround. Roach production is not yet underway. 6 Roaches are on the way, but alas, they're not ready yet. +1 is denied. Massive pickup. And SHIN is in trouble. Yeah, as Trap, he's warping in 5 Stalkers at a time. He's not slowing down. Essentially hyper committed here on 3 bases. No extra gases, no extra tech. Going for a charge behind this. Very gateway heavy here for Trap. But SHIN is holding onto that ramp. Ravagers have morphed in. And pushing into Ravagers and past these piles, it's not going to be easy. So SHIN is holding the line. Likewise, what's important as well, because of the map, the base isn't being threatened. The 4th base is left untouched. So SHIN can attempt to saturate as he's defending. Across the map, Ling does spot the 4th. SHIN is aware. SHIN is aware of the expansion. Still just focusing on Roach Ravager production, still holding the line. The circling still finally cleaned up. Ling is shut down. 4th base is getting saturated. It's a hybrid base as well, so extra minerals. And again, SHIN isn't able to apply any pressure here, and we are going for the Swarm Host. This is what I wanted last game. The Infestation Pit, it's coming into play. And because of this map, because of the terrain, SHIN, he can just set up the Swarm Host here outside the main and send the Locust Wave into that main base as well. Contamination on the Warp Gate. Let's go. Interesting choice. Slowing down the production. Swarm Hosts are on the way. Trap. Oh, it does take a lot to the face. Has been trading against the roaches. Catching 5 roaches. Swarm host moving out. When Trap is not ready to defend against that Locust Wave. What do we go for? The main or the natural? For now, it's going to be the natural instead. Trap still unable to gain much ground here, and the Locust Wave does reveal itself. Probes are falling. It's going to be 10 worker kills already. At the same time, though, the Zealots, they bust into the 4th, and the side defense is not ready. And SHIN is getting pulled apart. He does break down the expansion. The Nexus does fall, but Zealots, they flood into the mineral line. And Trap, he's going for the kill. He blinks on forward, gets into the Ravagers, and SHIN has dead supply in those Swarm hosts. They're not helping. None of the defense. Yeah, Ravagers are going down one after the other. As Zealots, they wreak havoc. They break through the front lines, or the back lines even. 13 drones go down, and the expansion will fall as well. Trap, he's just all over this. May have lost the base, but so did SHIN. Ooh, oh my god. Files do connect. The Stalkers are running out of steam. They're running out of HP. SHIN, he's barely holding on, but reinforcements have arrived. And SHIN still has those Swarm hosts. Speaking of. Never mind. Looks like the Locust Wave was spent to defend, spent to deal with the Zealots. Yeah, the Locust Wave spent elsewhere. Swarm hosts, they're still trying to make use of it, though. They're going for the expansion, going for the 4th. The game is getting scrappy. Swarm hosts are ready. They're going for the Nexus. Trap trying to double expand. Nexus should fall. Trap, does he barely have enough Stalkers to get himself the Ravagers once again? Barely not, as that's going to be 12 probe kills. 12 workers go down, Nexus as well. SHIN is on 3 bases. Trap on 2. Soon to be 3. Has a backup Nexus on the way. And again, even though SHIN is up in supply, a lot of that is in Roach Ravager and in Swarm Host. So it's still so close between the 2 players. And SHIN chasing Trap down. Oof, takes out another Stalker. Pulling away. Nidoswarm is done. Another Locust Wave is coming in. And now the main base is under threat. At the same time, Oracles, they hit the 3rd. No mining. 6 drone kills. 6 workers go down. No Spore in position. But the Locust Wave, they're going for the Nexus. They're going for the expansion. Nexus is gonna fall. Oh my god. Locust, they just do so much damage. Meanwhile, Trap just expanding elsewhere. Okay, we're just abandoning top left, expanding towards the center of the map. Whatever he can do to just keep on going. League Stalkers to engage. They avoid most of the piles. Oh, but that's still a lot of Roach Ravager. And SHIN is finally breaking out. He's catching another Stalker. Nidoswarm into the natural. Swarm host. I was like, where are we going? And SHIN is likewise breaking out, gets eyes on the fresh expansion, and we'll deny that as well. Yeah, Swarm host on one end, Roach Ravager on the other. Bases are falling left and right, and Trap just cannot keep up. We'll save his 3rd, thankfully, or his main? Question mark. We'll save 1 expansion. Trap going for the base trade. Yeah, just moving out across the map. Going for the hatchery. Oh, it's going to cost him some Stalkers. The hatchery does go down. Roach Ravager races back as well. Nice choke point, though. Can make use of that mineral wall. It does blink past. Going for the Nidoswarm. Nidoswarm is going to be sniped. At the same time, Locust Wave going for top right. The expansion, no! One of the most important bases here for Trap. It looks like it's going to fall as well. Down to a 1 base economy. Stalker still being active. Catching out some Overlords. This will supply block SHIN. SHIN is going to be supply blocked, but again, he still has a massive army. He has how much? He has 18 roaches, 9 swarm hosts, 10 ravagers. It's been a very chaotic game. Trap has done well for himself. Okay, he's not the snipe. Nice room. Oh, he barely caught. I mean, he does get it, but not in time. Local save goes for the Nexus. This time it's going to be saved. Trap is in position. Shin getting another expansion up and running. This base is more exposed though. The Roach Ravager army here towards the left-hand side. Oracles do confirm. Going for the Ravagers. Meanwhile, it's going to be Roach Hydra. Hydra production has begun. Trap going for the hatchery. Can he get it? Going for the Queens even. Yeah, boys are being pulled. Queens are going down. Drones as well. Again, these are good traits of Trap, but he needs more. He does need more damage. It's just an uphill battle for the Protoss. It's just an uphill battle, and he just cannot afford these trades. Letting out more Stalkers, Locust Wave into the main, more Gateways going down. I say that, he's sniping a lot of Roaches, actually. Like, these are really efficient trades. I say that. He's being hunted down. Stalkers from behind. Can we get the expansion? It's gonna be close. Yeah, we're not quite. Not quite, Bobby. Hatchery does survive. Stalker's being forced back. Oof. Catching out more Roaches. Oracle's going for the mineral line. But there is a Spore. There's a Spore in position. Trap, he's still in this. Another wave of reinforcements on the way. Catching Ravagers. Going for the surround. Okay, is it going to be enough? The Ravagers are being targeted. Lings are coming into support. Vials, oh, they do connect. Some of them do. But the Stalkers, they're breaking through. And Trap, can he do it? He's so close. Again, most of the Ravagers have fallen. Delta coming to reinforce. And SHIN, he has almost nothing left. 3 Hydras. Oh my god. 3 Hydras, no Roaches. Boys are being pulled. Where are the Swarm hosts? We need them. We need them, Bobby. As it looks like with these reinforcements, SHIN, he's trying to hold on. Swarm hosts, they're racing back home. We need them. Locust Wave is coming in. And the Swarm hosts will zone back the main army, but the hatchery is going to be targeted down. Trap does get it. Snipes the base. Gets the hell out of there. SHIN, he's down to 2 Hydras, 5 Roaches. 4 Roaches now. Oh my god. Locust Wave is running out. Say that. Did stagger the Locust Wave. Trap has the back off. SHIN down to half a base mining. Down to half a base economy. Trap has a full base mining meanwhile. Trap is up in economy. And SHIN has to be so careful with these Locust Waves. He cannot spend them all at once. If he does, he's going to have nothing. Well, there's going to be periods in time where he has nothing to defend. Building up more Lings. Going for another Nidus Worm. Trap taking another expansion. Let's go. Oh my god. Trap, he's crazy. Doing so much with so little. Give this man 10 Stalkers and a dream, man. He be dreaming. He's crazy. Oh my god. With that, we see SHIN attempting to stabilize. Nidus Worm has been rebuilt. Remember earlier it was sniped. Again, even though SHIN has more workers, he's long distance mining. He's long distance mining. Nidus Worm here on the right hand side. SHIN hoping to try to snipe the expansion. That's going to be his goal. SHIN is aware. He's aware of both bases. Behind this, building up a Roach Hydra composition. And it is 9 Swarm hosts. He's going for the Nexus. We have an army in position. Trap getting dragged out of position. Locust Wave coming in. Trap, okay, he's ready for it. We have the overcharge as well. We're going for the Nexus. It's getting low. Nexus does get low, but alas, it will survive. And with help of the overcharge, with the Stalkers as well. Locust, they don't get much done. Base here is going to be shut down. SHIN re-expanding, taking another base. Trap getting up to almost a 2-base economy. He's getting there. He's looking for the Nidus. Has yet to find it. Just the one Nidus active so far. These Swarmers are looking exposed though. Trap is looking for them. And he will find them. Oh, just barely. Just barely does find the Swarm Host. And he can target them down. Gets one, gets two. Two Swarmers do fall. Going down to 7. Local save comes in, but can't get much done. And some delicate micro here from Trap. We'll lose 1 Stalker. We'll lose 2 Stalkers. 2 Stalkers go down for 2 Swarm Host. Ooh, Lurker Den on the way. SHIN trying to get into Lurker tech. There is detection. There is 1 observer. And there is a robot. Okay. It's a very chaotic game state. There is detection. Swarm Host or Nidus Swarm behind the main base. Nidus Swarm across the map. Trap has to be careful engaging with the main Hydra army. Trap is out of position. Nidus does complete. Zelts will find it. They're going for the Nidus Worm. They force a recall back home. And the Nidus, it looks like we do catch 1 Swarm Host. 1 Swarm Host goes down for 2 Stalkers. Oh! Ooh, for 3 Stalkers. Was that a second Swarm Host? Okay. Okay, down to 6. 6 Swarm Hosts left. Lurker Den is done, and we have 8 Lurkers in production. Now, these are going to be Lair Tech Lurkers, no upgrades. There's no Lurker range, no adaptive talons. Bear that in mind. So these Lurkers are not going to be ideal. But they are spotted. They're still going to be able to hold their own. Trap has to be so careful. Second Observer's on the way. So run by, gets a handful of drones. Does force a reaction. First Observer is moving out. Trap going to be rotating. Currently, all the Lurkers are centralized here on the right-hand side, so Trap can avoid that and head over towards the left. He can and he will. Does try to. SHIN is keeping up. Hive is on the way. Rocks are knocked down. Lurker is not quite in position. Trap going to be rotating once again. Lurker save into the main. Going for the tech. And some Lurkers were left behind. And SHIN is holding. SHIN is holding. SHIN is slowly stabilizing. And depowering the main. Trap taking a 3rd base. And Trap is still stuck with purely Blink Stalkers. And some charge lots. SHIN is out of position though. The base is exposed. Not too important, but a hatchery is going to go down. A Hydra as well. Up. Barely escapes. It's all good. Hydra does make it out, and SHIN, yeah, doesn't really respect this. Now he does respond. Does lose the base. Some Overlords. Swarm Hosts across the map. They're going for the 4th. Nidus Swarm as well. And there's that recall. Army does recall in time. Trappy's keeping up. Does have the overcharge as well. Ooh. This time doesn't lose any Stalkers. Caches the Nidus Worms. Most of them. But again, SHIN, the main army, is getting larger and larger here. Building up more Roaches, more Hydras. Lurker upgrades are on the way. Lurker range about to finish. The Observer does spot the rotation. And Trap. Ooh, going for the expansion. Gets a Hydra. Don't think he was quite expecting Lurkers towards the left. Ooh, leading out a lot of Stalkers. It's a bold move by Trap. But again, pushing into Lurkers like this with Stalkers, it's not easy. Speaking of, oof, some brutal losses. Observer goes down. That was not quite worth it. He gets 1 Lurker. Meanwhile, across the map, Nidus Swarm. Oh, Nidus Swarm does pay off. Stormhost, they get a base, they get 15 probes. And SHIN, his army's just outscaling Trap at this point. Earlier, Trap was doing so well, but again, pushing into these setup lurkers, it's so difficult to pull off. Does bypass the army, going for the main! Okay. Threatens the main base, but SHIN not too far behind. We'll force this back. I mean, Trap trading well against the Lings. At the same time, Trap trying to maintain this base on the right-hand side. Disruptor production has begun. Disruptors are on the way. We have how many? We have 12 lurkers now, soon to be 15. Trap, he's tempted. He's very tempted to go in, but he can't quite pull it off. Trap again could try to blink into the main and then go for a recall thereafter. Spots 3 lurkers. SHIN rotating over. These lurkers are very exposed. Now would be the time. Because SHIN's going for a counterattack. He's going for the main mining base. These 3 lurkers are going to be cleaned up. They do trade, though, against the stalkers. Novas go off. Oh, they get 1 lurker. Which is good, but not good enough. Okay, the expansion's under fire. Stalker's going for the Nidus Worm. At the same time, Locust Wave takes down the last of the economy here of Trap. No mining whatsoever. Stalkers are clearing up some tech. SHIN does turn around. And again, it's been an impressive game here from Trap. But there's only so much he can do with this. Lurkers have arrived. We have to recall out of here, but it might just be too late. Yeah, there's no recalling out. Nova's going up, catching another lurker. Oof, oh god, GG gets called. Yeah, it's just too much, and SHIN will tab the series 1-1. Oh my god. SHIN will take it. It was a very, very intense game. There was a lot of back and forth. There was some crazy moments for Trap, where Trap was down 40, 50 supply, but was able to take some insane fights as well. Very impressive. It was insanely impressive by Trap. Wasn't enough to overcome and to take the game, but was enough to make it so very close. Make things scrappy in the end. GG. GG, well played. Ooh. SHIN brings it back. And now we're jumping into game number 3. As a reminder, it's a best of 5. Best of 5 grand finals. And we do have a back and forth, which is what I was hoping for. GG. Crazy game, Pappy. Crazy. Here we go. We're jumping into game 3. It's going to be on site Delta. Here we go. Alas, unfortunately, in the last game, eventually, I mean, SHIN, he was able to stabilize with those lurkers. Trap was never able to quite pick them off. Did eventually tech into disruptors, but by then it was a little bit too little too late. Did bleed out a lot of stalkers in the process. As the lurker count got higher, SHIN became that much more secure. And now we're getting into game 3, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of side Delta, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Gaimin Gladiators. It is SHIN. Fighting back in that last game and tying up the series, and we'll see if we can keep that momentum going. Meanwhile, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, can he bring it back? We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Gen G Esports. It is Trap. Who will take a lead in this series? Who will have that momentum? As for now, we're calming down. We're calming things down. When it comes to the choice of SHIN taking into Swarmhost, I mean, that's a little bit more effective on Amphion, just because of the terrain, just because of the features of the map itself. There are a lot of rocks, there are a lot of just locations that can be difficult to reach with a ground-based army and be difficult to really get your eyes on. So SHIN to take full advantage of that. Likewise with his expansion pattern as well, did kind of create a path right into the main of Trap. So the Swarmhost, they popped off, they did quite a lot of damage, sniping base after base. I don't expect to see that this time though. Not on Side Delta. Side Delta is a much more wide open map, and much more difficult to pull off that kind of strategy on. But we'll see. We shall see. Again, that's what I appreciate from SHIN is that SHIN is a very diverse player. He's very aggressive, don't get me wrong. He's very aggressive. He's known for that. But, I mean, that's still kind of a vague term. He has multiple forms of aggression as well. Whether it's, you know, these all-ins that we saw in Game 1, which was essentially a 4-base, like Ling Roach Ravager all-in off of 73 drones. Swarm Host play. Muta play. We'll see. For now, we're calming down. But, we take a breath. We take a breath back. Gate expanded. Cybercore standard opener after trap. Is just a standard opener. Trap going for a bit of a later probe scout. Gets eyes on the lack of third, at least at the triangular location. SHIN going for the linear third instead. And once again, it is going to be the Stargate opener. Stargate opener into an Oracle, I imagine. We'll see if Trap goes for something a little bit different and goes for a Void Ray first or a Phoenix first instead. But based on the rally, it should be the Oracle. Likewise, SHIN is just going to be droning up. We have our unit of choice. It is in fact the Oracle across the map to harass, and this usually does lead into a third base here from the Protoss. With additional Oracles to defend, to harass, to get into a longer game state. And we'll see if SHIN can have some more secure defense early on as well, bearing in mind in the last game that Trap was just all over the mineral line with Adept harass, with Oracle harass as well. Trap was able to conduct or just deal so much damage early on. We'll see if we can do it again. So now the third base is going to be taken. Adept staying back at home. Trap taking a more defensive approach. Not harassing whatsoever. And just being more secure. Third base getting up and running. Likewise, SHIN joining up. 2 queens at the third. Queen Spore in the main. And he's opting to go for a bit of a faster Evo chamber. I imagine for +1 melee. We'll see. SHIN has been very Roach heavy here in this series so far. With faster +1 range instead. So Oracles, they hit the natural. Queen's in position. Spores as well. The Oracles, they don't find much damage, not yet. Zipping into the natural, they do bypass the Queen. 2 drones so far. And there's that +1 melee. +1 melee on the way. This could lead into more intense Hydra play instead. As the Oracle takes a lot of damage, getting 5 drone kills. And is on 1 HP, but will get away. Okay, calm down, Trap, calm down. Is racing back. Meanwhile, back at home, the third base is getting up and running. We have plenty of Adepts to work with as well. And we should soon be moving out across the map. Behind this, Forge and Twilight Council is done, working into +1 and Blink. Same kind of follow-up that we have seen every game so far from Trap. But again, due to the +1 melee, it kind of leads us to believe that SHIN is going to be a little bit less focused on that Roach Ravager, and more so on either Hydras or even Aspire. Oracles to recall back home. Adepts are moving out. Checking the tech, of course, SHIN has skipped out his Roach Warren and Baneling Nest, going into the lair. And once that lair gets thrown down, we'll see what kind of tech we go for, whether it's the Spire or the Hydra Den. Fourth base under fire, taking a lot of damage. Ling should be able to engage. These are vanilla Adepts, bear that in mind. No glaives. They do trade well nonetheless. Okay, well, gets the Lings, pulling back. The base gets low, but doesn't get cancelled. And we have our answer. It is, in fact, Hydras. So it's going to be a Ling Hydra here from SHIN. Which can trade quite well against Blink Stalkers. And it does also more seamlessly transition into Lurker tech later on. So SHIN is setting up for a longer game state. Meanwhile, Trap moving out. Getting up to, just for now, 4 gates. Nothing too crazy. Blink about to kick in and taking into a bay into Colossus. So for the first time this series, we're kind of taking a more standard approach. I mean, the expansion is going to be denied, though. The fourth base under fire. Ling's out of position, and the fourth base goes down. Nice pickoff here from Trap, containing SHIN on 3 bases. Again, SHIN, he was in the middle of going for a counterattack. Ling's not quite where they needed to be. SHIN trying to get eyes on Lord B4. Second Robo's on the way, again, for the double Colossus. And that's going to be amazing against Ling Hydra. That should force out Hive Tech, Vipers, Lurkers, and again, we should be able to enter a more longer standard later game state. Crazy. As you see SHIN splitting up his army, going for the fourth. We'll get a surround. Trap is in position though. We'll deflect. Ling's looking for more damage. Shield batteries on the way. Oh, those are some very horny hydras. They look like moose. Like they've got like massive antlers just sticking out of their heads. I've never noticed that before. I don't think I often see pro players use that skin. That's crazy. I can like just picture them like headbutting each other with that. Oh my god. So many horns. SHIN is building up. Still staying on a lower drone count as his fourth base was denied. That's a lot of Ling Bane on the way. He's gearing up for a push. It's just purely Ling Bane Hydra, and he's going for the fourth. Colossus are ready. They'd be so careful. Limited force fields. Limited sentries. And Ling Bane is waddling in. Bathing speed just now done. And bathing speed does kick in. Overcharge gets popped. And just the one force field. And Colossus are exposed, and SHIN will catch one. Maybe both. He's trying to release, but the Colossus, they're barely holding on. The Prism is there to juggle as well, and SHIN, he's forced back. Trap is holding. Trap somehow, someway, with only one force field? How? How, actually? What just happened? Trap, he's able to hold on. He forces back the army, and now SHIN, he's taking up a Lurker Den on the way. Infestation Mid is on the way, but this was an afterthought. This was not the plan for SHIN. The plan was to end the game then and there, or to at least break the fourth. Baiting runway waddles in, gets 2 probes. Trap, he takes no damage, and he can focus on his push. And now he's got 3 Colossus. And again, we are so far away from Lurker tech. SHIN, he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here. Trap with a massive supply lead. Who needs force fields? Who needs them against Ling Bane? It's crazy. SHIN does have a surround set up, but barely anything does snipe the Prism. Prism goes down. No juggling, but we don't need a juggle. We don't need a micro, and we don't need to save those Colossus. GG gets called. They can save themselves as Trap will take a 2-1 lead. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. SHIN essentially going for a 3-base all-in. He cut workers at 63. If you remember, his fourth was killed. His fourth was never saturated. Just cutting workers early on and committing here to that bailing time with purely Ling Bane Hydra. And I was concerned for Trap. Like, usually against this kind of army composition, you can shut it down with sentries, with force fields, because there's no Ravagers, right? There's no Ravagers, so force fields are so dominant in that kind of game state. So I was concerned because there was only one sentry, but the kiting was on point. There was the Prism to juggle and to save the Colossus. Nice kiting as well from the Stalkers, and Trap, he defended quite well. It was very impressive. Very impressive. Gee, I'm a little bit in shock. A little bit. GG, well played. Trap, he shuts down the all-in. Snowball's out of control, and with that, Trap is 1 game away from becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. One more is all Trap needs. And again, this is Trap's debut in our tournament series. We'll see if we can bring it home. We'll see if we can force the ace match. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ghost River, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Gaiman Gladiators. Down in the series, he has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Gen G Esports, leading the series 2-1. One more is all Trap needs to become our champion. It is Trap. Oh my god. Here we go. I just bought this skin. It makes the Hydras look like dragons. They're very horny. I don't think I've noticed any other pro player use that skin. I'll be honest. Maybe I'm just blind. It's possible. It's possible. Here we go. Shin is going for that expansion. Does hide the drone. Trap unable to force the unnatural natural. Does dip back down, and Shin has been able to successfully expand. So a nice start here for Shin. Getting to his hatch gas pool. Getting into it undisturbed. And we have found ourselves in the smallest map of the map pool. Very short rush distance by ground as well. Aggression can be very heavily favored here on a Ghost River because it doesn't take too long at all to go from one natural to the other, one side to the other here on this map. And typically it has been Shin being the aggressor. I say typically because, I mean, the turns were kind of tabled on Amphion, with the trap being in the face of Shin. Let's see who takes role the aggressor this time. Who's it gonna be? I know what I said. As once again, Trap opening up Stargate. It's gonna be that Stargate opener into the Oracle. And Trap, he hasn't deviated too much or at all really this series when it comes to his opener. There's been no Twilight Council, no Robo, no shenanigans early on. Just Stargate into Oracle, into a standard setup. Meanwhile, the third base is gonna be delayed. Shin now expanding. Trap will confirm. Okay, there is a third. And we'll see where our players take us from here, as it is going to in fact be that Oracle once again. Trappy is not really messing around with any kind of Void Ray openers or Phoenixes. Nah. Just give him the Oracle. He's fine, Bob. He's fine. Adepts moving out. Two Adepts do one-shot drones, so Trap is going to be threatening the bases here of Shin. Re-threatening, and Shin has to take it seriously. He's keeping up with the Shades. Link speed does kick in. And with that kicking in, Trap does back off. Setting up his expansion, Oracle's moving out. And Shin does have extra links on the way, and this should be to try to pose a threat and try to punish and deny the third. See if he can. Oracle rotating around. Gets size and saturation. Lings are moving out, as you did mention. As the Overlord is denied. And back at home, Adepts are in position. They're nicely tucked away between the Gas Geyser and the Minerals. Stalker gets surrounded. Stalker shut down. The Overlord is saved. But last, the Oracle doesn't trade too poorly here. Gets 5 Ling kills. It's 5 Lings. That's gonna be a Twilight Council follow-up. A very early Twilight Council here from Trap, and I don't see a Forge. Glaives. I'm leaning towards Glaive Adepts. This could also be Blink leading into something like an 8-gate to 3-base Blink all-in. What's it gonna be? Glaives or Blink? Stays in the main, catches the Queen. Twilight Council is done, and there it is. Glaives are on the way, so it's gonna be 5-gate Glaives here from a Trap. And Shin is in the dark as to what's going on. Now, thankfully, Shin is throwing down a Roach Warren. He's not skipping Roaches, not this time. Roach Warren is on the way. Lings, they hit the third. But it is going to be Trap that's going to be the aggressor this time. And his goal here is to try to catch Shin off guard with these Adepts. Now, even though Shin has a Roach Warren, he doesn't have any Roaches. And if Shin is too greedy, if Shin drones up too much and doesn't make any safety Roaches, then these Adepts can snowball out of control. These Adepts can do critical damage. As the Adepts, they're banking up. They're banking up as we speak. Shin is still droning, which is still okay. He's joining up. Oracles do confirm this. They got eyes on the Warren. They got 5 drones already. And SHIN is still just re-droning, resaturating his bases. And here come the Adepts. Adepts are moving out. Roach speed is on the way, but still no roaches. And now the Adepts, they're finally revealed. And there are Lings on the way. 10 Lings in production. Oh boy, how much damage can we get done? It's just going to be Lings initially to defend. Queens are keeping up. So far, zoning the Adepts away. Shading into the natural. Lings, they come in for the surround. But the Adepts, they trade well. They trade well against the Lings. The Lings, they fall one after the other. Roaches are now in production, but it might just be too late as we shade in towards the third. So far, no major damage. Evo Chambers are thrown down. They zone away the Adepts. With the Spine Crawler as well. Going for the full wall. And nice last second defense here by SHIN. He shuts down the Adepts. 6 drones go down, but nothing crazy. And behind this, we have a Spire. Spire is on the way in the main. Trap, I believe, has not seen it yet. As I say that. As I say that, does spot the Spire, is aware. Assuming he clicked on it. It may not matter, as more Adepts have arrived. They threaten a shade, they don't commit. Yeah, Trap is going to back off. And SHIN throws down a Hydra Den. I'm assuming that SHIN is aware he got scattered. So he's getting ready to just switch into Hydras. Hydra's infestation pits. Lurker Den going to be on the way. SHIN has held. And will he actually make use of the Spire? As Trap hasn't really reacted. I mean, we have some shield batteries on the way at the third, but nowhere else. And so far, SHIN is keeping up. We have some mutas on the way. It's going to be 4 mutas in production. Hive on the way as well. And it looks like it's only going to be mutas to hunt down the Prism and to harass across the map. It's no big commitment into mutas. The Prism! No, no! Oh, bit of a misrally. Yeah, bit of a misrally there from Trap. Prism goes down. Trap moving out with his main army. SHIN is somewhat vulnerable at the moment, as he is taking up quite heavily into Hydras, into Hive, into Lurker Tech as well. Like a lot of resources being spent elsewhere. Not on his army. We'll see if SHIN can hold. He's going for the surround. He's trying to, but the force fields are brutal. The Lings are cleaned up. Reinforcements have arrived. And SHIN isn't quite ready for this. Needs a little bit more time. 22 more Lings on the way. 22 more Lings in production. Trap rotating around. Doesn't commit. Does have Blink. Does have +1. Charge on the way as well. Reinforcing with another Immortal. And SHIN's up against the wall again. He's not quite ready for this. Miles a zone away. Lurker 10 is done, but no Lurkers. No Lurker upgrades either. +1 is going to finish up just in time. But it may not matter. The chamber goes down. Yeah, the Hydra Roach does engage. Does push in. Going for the Immortal. Oh, Prism goes down. But the juggling may have just been good enough. Oh, it's going to be close. But with the help of 2 Immortals, we are breaking through Trap. Getting on top of the Roaches. Trying to get on top of the Hydras. And SHIN with reinforcements. Can he hold? Oh. Boys are being pulled. They have to be. 18 Lings on the way. And the Roaches and Hydras, they're crumbling. These are expensive losses for SHIN. At the same time, he does shut down all the Immortals. He's holding. He's forcing back the Stalkers. SHIN, he's barely holding on, but he lost everything in the process. This is his army. Lings and 3 Roaches. That's all he has left. It's barely a hold. It's not a hold. As Trap rotates, I mean, SHIN hasn't lost many workers. As I say that, some drones are now going down. Trap hits the southern base, goes for the hatchery. Will get it. And the hatchery is sniped. Again, SHIN, he needed a little bit more time to get into his Lurker Tech. The first Lurker is on the way after the base fell. And behind this, now Trap expands. Now he's taking a 4th. Link counterattack runs into the High Templar. The Valley. Oh, can he get them? Overcharges pop the High Templar. They survive. That was almost disastrous for Trap. Almost. High Templar do live. Link's distracting Trap, but Trap, he commits. He's moving out. Storm is done. Fleet Beacon's on the way. Trap getting ready for Sky Toss. He still maintains that Stalker army. SHIN, he's got that one Lurker. He's got 3 more on the way. Stalker's pushing in. He wants those Lurkers. Storm is ready. Storms are ready. They zone away the army, but alas, no detection. No detection for Trap. Oracle's coming in. Archon goes down. And SHIN, he's barely holding on. Barely fortifying himself here with these Lurkers. The Lunkers, they've arrived. He holds. Holds on to the 3rd at least, but what about the 4th? What about the 4th base? Wings are caught out. SHIN does rotate, building up a higher Lurker count. Now, the worrisome thing here is that, yes, SHIN, he's holding. He's holding. He's got his Lurkers. He can now work towards additional Lurker upgrades like Adaptive Talons. Behind this, Sky Toss. We have a mothership on the way. 2nd Stargate. Carrier production has begun. Lurkers, they rule the ground, but Sky Toss rules the skies. And it has begun. Now, what I will say is that this is still the first carrier. Like, it still will take some time to build up a Sky Toss army. So SHIN can attempt to stabilize, but he's still stuck on a lower worker count. 55 drones. Going for a Nidoswarm and for Dropalors. Okay. I mean, SHIN, he's like, his economy's in the gutter. He's not droning. SHIN, he's not droning. He's going for the all-in. He's going for the Doom Drop. Before Sky Toss is fully underway, he's sending it back. Going for a drop across the map. SHIN trying to keep tabs on Trap's army. And can he get on top of the production? Can he get on top of the Stargates? Now headed for the natural. Nidoswarm to reinforce and to evacuate as well. Lurkers have arrived. They can at least camp the Robo. Mortal does swap out. We force a recall. Ooh, High Templar falls, but we do have a Storm. And detection. And the spine shot, so the Lurkers are getting a lot of damage dealt here in the main army. Carrier does reveal itself. More Hydras filing in from the Nidoswarm. And SHIN is gaining ground, but here comes the mothership. And there's no detection. Overseer's still in the way. Massive storms! Oh my god, the storms are insane! And the detection is targeted down. There's one Overseer just in time. Oh my god, the spine shots are brutal. And SHIN, it looks like he has done it. He's broken through. Detection just in time. And again, SHIN, he had no economy. He's got 44 workers back at home, but he doesn't care. He's going for the kill. Bust into the natural, busting into the main. Again, this was the only way out for SHIN. The only way to try to win this game was for the all-in. And Hydras, they come in to reinforce. There's only 2 carriers. And Trap just doesn't have enough. Not anymore. And SHIN is hoping to force the ace match. I say that more carriers are on the way, making 3 at a time. Can Trap buy a little bit more time here across the map? Threads the 3rd. Stalkers racing back home. Stargates are under fire. Oh my god, carriers have come out just in time. We have how many? 4 carriers. Soon to be 5. Oh, never mind. Stargate is depowered. Just 4 carriers. Oh, and do we have enough Hydras here? It is getting quite close. Yeah, interceptors are running out. Hydras, they break through, busting into the main, taking everything down. Trap still has an economy. Still has the higher worker counts. Storm's coming in. Oh my god. Upper ramp though. Take a lot of damage. Yeah, and SHIN, he still has control of the main base. Trap going for a base trade. He abandons the main, going for a base trade instead. But SHIN can always deny this back, and he will. Does Nidoswarm across the map. Lurkers have arrived. Again, I love the use of Nidoswarm here. Just to essentially recall back home. Trap rotating around. Has detection. Takes a lot of damage though. We'll catch out 2 of these lurkers. 2 lurkers go down. Storm on some of the Hydras. Not bad. There's 1 storm left. And the Hydras are up against the wall. Show us that storm. Oh, doesn't go for it. Yeah, Trappy pulls away. Does pull away for now. Storm zones the Hydras. And needs a little bit more time for another storm. Couple more seconds. Running out of interceptors. Viper's coming in. The yoinks! He gets 1, he gets 2. Ooh, barely gets 1 carrier, not the other. The other barely does survive. Lings, they come in for a surround. They're going for the High Templar. And can they get them? They get 1. They get 2. No, they get all 3. 3 High Templar go down. No storms left. Oh my god. Yeah, some brutal losses for Trap. High Templar can't reset. He almost had 3 storms. They were so close. SHIN is barely holding on. Behind this, Trap still has the better economy. Now getting his production back up and running. Again, bearing in mind that Trap lost everything in the main, so he has to rebuild his production, his gateways, his robos, no Stargates. That's what's been slowing Trap down. But now the production, it's looking solid. SHIN is hunting for those carriers. He wants the abduction, and he will get it. Gets 1. Gets the mothership as well. Minus 300, minus 300. Ooh, Vipers are sniped. The mothership survives. Oh my god. It's crazy. Mothership does live. Slow zone on the ramp. SHIN, he has to pull back. He cannot engage. SHIN does pull away. And he did save 1 of the Vipers. The other was sniped by the Stalkers. Speaking of, Trap now going into a very Stalker-heavy composition. Temple Archives on the way. That should be for the High Templar. Whether it's Storm or Feedback. I mean, both going to be valuable. Gets a Hydra. Gets a Hydra, gets a handful of Lings. He'll be able to pull away. Bleeds out a Stalker though. Nidus from across the map. Trap, he's in the dark. He doesn't see. Does not spot the Nidus. But there is stack defenses, a wall of cannons and shield batteries. And there's a recall as well. Lurkers getting caught out. Lurkers do survive. Nidus Storm does finish. You've got the 1 lurker waddling in. Let's go. The single lurker harass. SHIN rotating over. Catching out the Immortals. Immortals out of position. Force a recall. The yoink! The recall! The recall finishes on top of the lurkers! The Immortals, they're being shut down. They have brutal position here. 2 Immortals do fall, but the Archons, they shut down the Hydras! No detection. No detection. No observer. Oh, every Immortal, almost every Immortal goes down. Ah, that was a brutal recall. You don't see that too often, where you yoink the mothership into lurkers, and then the recall finishes. Oh my god. Otherwise, like, Trap, he would have saved almost every single Immortal. Like, there would have been no reason for them to be that close. Aye, aye, aye. Still a very tense game state. But again, Trap still has so much mining, so much economy. And Trap should be able to outscale SHIN. I say should, like, his tech is still really awkward. Stargate's now being rebuilt. More High Templar morphing in. Now with Storm. He's stuck with a ground-based army, which means more lurkers make it that much more difficult to break through. And again, there's no disruptors. There's only 1 carrier. It is going to be 14 lurkers for SHIN. And Trappy's back down to 2 Immortals. 2 Immortals left over. SHIN rotating. Ooh. Massive volley goes off. Trap taking one of SHIN's bases. Oh my god. Expanding on SHIN's half of the map, and the armies, they miss each other. They do miss each other. Trap turns back around. Coming in from behind. Ooh, the Viper gets sniped. Nice feedback, but that's a lot of lunkers. And how do you push into this? Oh my god, no! Does try to do 1 High Templar goes down. Storm goes off. Immortals from behind. Oh, the High Templar are falling. Yeah, no more storms left over. And the lurkers, they're holding their own. Yeah, pushing into the lurkers was brutal. The final carrier finally does fall as well. Now we have 5 lurkers left, 3 immortals. Trap is down to 1 High Templar. Speaking of, final High Templar does make it out. Expansion is going to be denied. Trap catching reinforcements, at least trying to. Oh, the base! He can get it! Uno más! Oh, barely does snipe the expansion. Hatchery goes down. SHIN on half a base economy. This is all he has. SHIN trying desperately to expand here towards the south. Has 8 mineral, just barely has 4 patches left. Barely has any mining going on. I said 8 mineral patches. Catching some workers. SHIN out of position. Hydrogen under fire. Trap rotating towards the south. Hydrogen could go down. Barely is saved. Fleet beacons on the way. Again, Trap trying to work towards Skytoss again. He's almost there. It's been a while. It's almost there. Still just the 1 Stargate. Yeah, more lurkers on the way. Do you have Fungals? Ooh, Fungal does connect! But there's no follow-up. And no follow-up instead. We can see Trap going for the lurkers. Pushing in once again. Does get 1. It's a second lurker. The others are forced back. And is there a storm? There is. Another massive storm on the Hydras. SHIN getting caught off guard. GG gets called. His army was split up, and Trap, he finally does take it. And Trap will be this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. That was a wild game, mate. When SHIN got the Nidus Worm at the natural and he was busting into the main and came with the production, I thought that would be it. He was able to recall back home, or I should say Nidus Worm back home as well. He was able to deny any kind of production, any kind of tech that Trap had. But despite that, Trap, he was able to bounce back, still had his own, at the time, carrier army, was able to trade very nicely against the Hydras, against the Lurkers. A very intense, very scrappy back and forth game. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations, Papi. GG, well played. Trap will be not just our champion this week, but for the first time, a Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. Again, this is the first time that Trap and SHIN have competed in this tournament, that they've competed in the STC. So great to have them here, and I hope that this is the first of many matches that we have between the two of them, because it was a lot of fun, very chaotic, very intense, and I hope to see them again next week. GG. GG, well played. As a reminder, this is a weekly tournament. Every single week we do host the Sparkling Tuna Cup. We've been hosting and running this event for many years at this point. Many years. Did begin back in 2022. So it's been a couple of years since the inception of this tournament, and yeah, currently it is a weekly event. And if you want to help support this tournament, if you want to help support the Sparkling Tuna Cup, you can do so via Patreon. You can see the Patreon goal just underneath Trap's name. That is currently how much we do get via Patreon, how much is spent on our tournaments, and we do have stretch goals available as well to help grow our events and help boost the prize pool. So if you're interested, Patreon is there. Otherwise, Matcherino, Matcherino in the chat if you want to help boost specifically this week's tournament, as all the payouts are done via Matcherino. So you can help boost the prize pool there if you wish. Ooh, otherwise, GG. GG, well played. What a finals. What a finals. I got the commands for you, buddy. I got the commands for you. GG, well played. And when not done, I should message the players as well. I should let them know that our next broadcast is going to be in how many hours time? Like 10 hours time? Yeah, in 10 hours time, we're going to be live once again with our other weekly tournaments. We have the Sparkling Tuna Cup, which is a little bit more favored towards the European time zone. And we also have the Tenacious Turtle Tussle as well, which is more catered towards the NA time zone, where we can have some more North American and Latin American representation. So those are our two weeklies, Sparkling Tuna Cup and the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. Both do feature their own mascots, of course. Shout out to Shura for the lovely mascots that we do use. Shout out to Shura. And so I'm just letting him know. Letting him know. GG, well played. But yes, our next tournament is going to be in 10 hours time. That's going to be the Tenacious Turtle Tussle number 17. Again, it is also an open tournament. It is the replacement ESL Americas tournament. At least it was. Now we have moved it to Sundays instead of Mondays. But alas, the weekly will still be there. Likewise, tomorrow is going to be a busy day. We have in the morning Tenacious Turtle Tussle, followed by the Wardy TV Monday Cup. That's going to be in the evening, in the afternoon, followed by the Ursasaurus Cup. So back to back to back is we have kind of a busy schedule here, especially from Sunday or from the weekend leading into Monday as well. A lot of matches, a lot of StarCraft coming up ahead of us. Lots of StarCraft. GG, just catching up. What is this game? It was crazy, man. It was crazy. It was beautiful. GG. Shout out to Gemini as well, of course. Shout out to Gemini for being there for his boy, for his trap. Let's go. And again, our next broadcast is going to be in 10 hours time. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up here tonight. Congratulations to Trap. Shout out to Shin as well. This was also Shin's first Sparkling Tuna Cup, so did make a very deep run in this event. Hope to see him in the coming weeks, in the coming months. And yeah, if you want to help follow us, if you want to be notified when we go live, social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. You can follow us on all your platforms, Blue Sky, Mastodon, wherever you happen to be. We do post whenever we go live. Likewise, we do stream on multiple channels as well. We stream here on Twitch, and we also stream on YouTube as well. So if you're interested, you can follow us on your preferred platform. VODs are instantly available on Twitch and YouTube as well. So VODs are available for you if you do wish. I do apologize for the stream going down. For those who do not know, the stream did go down during the semifinals. Basically, I disconnected from the Twitch server. It wasn't internet related, it was just Twitch server related. So the Sydney Twitch server went down, so I had to switch, and I'm streaming from to the Singapore server now, and everything's fine. But we did lose a lot of people in the process, so I do apologize for that. Hopefully it doesn't happen in the future. Do apologize. But I'll be downloading and rendering the VODs and splicing them together. I'll do my best. Do my best to fix up the VODs for the YouTube. Otherwise, thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. I believe Wardy is hosting a 2v2 tournament. So check out Wardy's channel if you want to tune into some fun 2v2 action. He has you covered there. Otherwise, we might raid a smaller streamer. We'll find someone. Find someone to send everyone over to. So I hope you enjoy. Who's streaming right now? Coconut streaming, Wardy streaming, and many others. We'll find someone. We'll find someone. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Whether we see you in 10 hours or in 24 hours, we'll see you next time. Till then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. Thanks for watching. Congratulations, Trap. Gah.